Well, my dear friends, this is my very first video with the action camera. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I hope I'm recording. So I'm in Yekaterinburg. The date is February 3rd. And I just came back from the Dyatlov Pass. Yesterday was the conference. And we went to the monument in Mihaylovskoe cemetery, and today I'm going to the graves of Zolotaryov and Krivonischenko, which are in a different cemetery, Ivanovskoe, and I'm very proud that I know how to find them, because even Russians don't know exactly, not many know how to find their graves. I'm standing in front of my favorite statue of a witch. I'm sure there is a story behind it, but it is said that if you rub her nose, that's for luck. So let's hope we get lucky. Now I'm going to show you how to get to Ivanovskoe cemetery on the back door, because Zolotaryov and Krivonischenko graves are very far away from the main entrance. But there is a story about why am I going to the church there that I'm gonna tell you today. I need a crest because something happened and I got too close to some dark shades that I saw while I was close to a Mansi sacred place, the Vijay rock, and some people see them. Some say that those are unsettled souls, the souls of people that died tragically and that they dwell between the sky and the earth, and sometimes they get through and they show themselves to people like me. I will tell you about it, but right now I'm going to show you how you get on a tram, and I'm not going to talk while I'm inside because it looks weird. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get arrested for nothing, for jaywalking. So after we get on the tram, conductor is going to come to me. There are no words exchanged. The fare is always the same, 33 rubles, no matter how far you go. I'll give him or her the money. They give me a receipt and that's it. So I'm gonna show you some of Yekaterinburg. Here is another of my favorites. Yeah, we're gonna rub his nose too and maybe high five him too for good luck. The temperatures are above zero. That's like never happened. In 2019 they were minus 35 when I landed in Yekaterinburg. That doesn't mean that it wasn't cold on the Dyatlov Pass, but I'll tell you about that. So I hope I'm doing it the right way. I have to get on a tram 1 which is gonna take me to Ivanovskoe cemetery. Well, you can see some of Yekaterinburg, not in its glory, because usually when it's covered with snow it's really beautiful, and now it's all muddy but warm. We'll see what happens when people jaywalk. Let's see how many trams stop here. We need number 1. And again, I'm taking you to the southeast side of the cemetery, which is on the back of the main entrance with the church. I'm looking at the timetable. Oh, we have 17 minutes. I really don't want to stay here for 17 minutes. So I'm gonna take a walk and I'll check in again when I get on the tram. It's a good thing that I asked because I was heading in the wrong direction. So when I'm right now across the tram station and it says 6 minutes for tram number 1. So you're gonna get with me on and see how I buy the ticket, and then we're gonna travel to Ivanovskoe cemetery. But I'm not gonna talk in the tram, I feel weird. Last year I was asking some of the people that worked in Ivanovskoe cemetery, even they didn't know that Zolotaryov is buried there. Zolotaryov and Krivonischenko. I knew because we went there with I went there with a journalist in 2019, so I know that they're buried there. I actually have footage and photos of myself there. But I thought Americans are different from the Russians in the aspect that they know the truth about who is where, what happened, how to get to the facts, but they're not. Even yesterday at the memorial in Mihaylovskoe, it's easier to just repeat what they heard and not double check the facts. Like there was a woman telling me that the student that's buried in Mihaylovskoe next to, right in the middle of the Dyatlov group, the graves of the 7, they're buried there. His name is Nikitin, so she said he hanged himself. And I jumped like, what? Really? A young man, student? Why would he do that? And she was like, yeah, he hanged himself. And then I asked other people, they said, no, there is no information what he died from. I have read personally that he died from just a flu. Really bad case of getting sick in the winter. Others said that he was knifed, like wounded with a knife in some squabble. But hanging, I mean, everything that is weird and unhealthy and macabre is just tied to the Dyatlov group case. Even on the conference, there were some very interesting new reports of analysis by experts on the case files, the autopsy reports, which I'm going to publish. Elena Dmitrievska and 2 others are the authors of this study, basically saying that the language in the typed autopsy reports, it's hard to believe to belong to a person with a medical background, because there are some mistakes that no one would just use these wordings. in a document, but then the moderator of the conference said that he has studied in depth Возрожденны's background and that he was just learning how to type. That wasn't he wasn't fluent in that, and no one was hiring typewriters or anyone to help with preparing the documents after the autopsy, and he could have made some of the typos that are mentioned in this report, but who knows. The point being that the autopsy reports are edited after they were written by Возрожденный. Elena Dmitrievska did comparison of the typewriter characteristics of the resolution to close the case and the autopsy reports, and they look like they were typed. I mean, she proved that they're typed by the same machine, and that shouldn't be the case for the autopsy reports. They should have been typed in a different institution, the forensics, something, the SME in Sverdlovsk, not at the quarters of the investigation. Anyways, different, interesting stories from the conference, annual conference. Well, we're still waiting for that tram. I'm gonna switch back on the camera when I see the tram coming. Actually, I believe he's just going to turn this way when the green light comes on. I see the tram blinking. Yeah. Well, it's coming, so I'm not gonna switch off. Check out what it is like to travel in Russian transportation. The metro is much better. I'm just taking the tram because that's what I have going to the cemetery.
Осторожно, двери закрываются. Следующая остановка – улица Московская.
Во избежание падения и получения травм, в случае вынужденного резкого торможения вагона, держитесь за поручни.
told you the name of the stop is, but it's Юго-Западное, which means southwest. That's how the stop is called. So you can recognize where to get off when you see this monument. I'm gonna show you now. And this is still not yet the entrance closest to Zolotaryov and Krivonischenko. So basically a monument of people died, heroes. And now from here we still have ways to go. Bear with me. So while we're getting to the door in the wall of the cemetery, I'm gonna share some thoughts about why are Krivonischenko and Zolotaryov buried separately. It seems like there is no mystery in this because neither Krivonischenko nor Zolotaryov were studying in UPI anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna cross the street because this is pain in the ass walking here. So I'm walking along the wall of the cemetery. So Ivanovskoe cemetery is older and more prestigious than Mihaylovskoe, and there's some very important people buried here. Krivonischenko's father was important person, so he would have. It's normal. I mean, it's normal for him to get a place here, and you will see that his monument is better than everybody else's. I like it. And next to him is Zolotaryov, which was buried in basically free, what they put on the graves of people that no one pays for the funeral. And Zolotaryov wasn't of any prominent family. Why? The question is, why was he buried in this cemetery and not in a less prestigious one? To me, it's not some question that bothers me, but others do ask it very persistently. Those that think that Zolotaryov had some mission. I was staying with Dmitry Kirev, so in our nights behind the table we had a lot of discussions about our theories, and he finds it suspicious why Zolotaryov spent 1 month in Sogrin's house. He was living there in Yekaterinburg, initially enlisted in his group, but still they weren't friends. And it's New Year's. He went to Sogrin on the 28th of December. Why so early if the Sogrin's group went on a trek together with Dyatlov's group on the same night? So why was he staying with Sogrin for so long? And Dmitry Kirev thinks that the father of Sogrin and basically his family, they knew where the Zolotaya Baba is. This is a treasure that is shrouded with some mystery and believed to be. So this is the door, believed to be what Hitler was after searching in Russia. And it is said that if you possess Zolotaya Baba, this is like a gold woman statue or something, or maybe a whole treasure, you can rule over Siberia, whole Siberia. That has some power, not just the weight of the gold. So I want to show you where Zolotaryov's grave is in Krivonischenko. So this is the back door of the cemetery. The cemetery is beautiful, and that door is just on Radisheva Street. So be careful here, pay attention. I believe I can find it by intuition. There, I see it. I see Krivonischenko. Okay, so we are going to take this trail. Garbage. Looking at if someone is behind me. It's beautiful. This is Krivonischenko. I can see Krivonischenko from very far away because there are two birch trees right here. See, this is Krivonischenko. And on the grave here we can see embossed his badge, which he wore all the time, and we can tell in the photos that that's him because we see the badge on his breast pocket all the time. And I'm going to place my signature here. Since 2019 I always carry tangerines. Yesterday I put tangerines on the monument at Mihaylovskoe, and today I bring tangerines to Krivonischenko and Zolotaryov. Here the double birch trees, the double birch tree that I can see from far away, and next to him is Zolotaryov. You can see him right there. This is how Zolotaryov's grave looks like after the exhumation. Before that, I told you that was a really cheap one. It looked like the ones next to him without any wall. It didn't have a fence. It was just like these ones, but without a fence. You can see engraved Zolotaryov from one of the photos from the trek. I have it on the main page today. You know that he died on his birthday when he was turning 38. So every time when we're commemorating the incident and the tragedy, basically we're also remembering his birthday. I'm gonna leave his tangerine here. And to tell you the truth, I don't know if it's good to know the location of their graves or not, because there's so many vandals recently that sprayed graffiti and defaced some of, well, especially Zolotaryov's grave. Many think he was bad, saboteur, monster, or he wasn't what he was claimed to be. And I find him so normal. He integrated in the group, although he was much older. I believe he liked Zina, or at least what I can see the body language on the photos. And I know that Zolotaryov liked women. He had a lot of friends, girlfriends. And as you know, he had a baby. But something wasn't very smooth with the mother of his child. They weren't married, but he was living with her. So she dropped the baby at his mother's house, and I believe he was in a hurry to get back to his baby. So now I'm going to show you, to take you with me across Ivanovskoe cemetery, and I will take the time to tell you the story of my Dyatlov Pass this year. Every time it's different. This year I was invited to attend the conference, and since Dmitry Kirev offered to pay for my accommodation, I jumped to the opportunity to come again in Russia. It seems weird to come just for the conference, but hey, I would do anything to travel to any point of the world. I love the world, I love the travel. And then he asked me if I want to go to the pass. So again, this is the southwest door of the Ivanovskoe cemetery, and this is where Zolotaryov and Krivonischenko were buried. Even we know Krivonischenko was buried on May 9th, but we don't know, or 10th, but we don't know when exactly Zolotaryov was buried, in what date, because they were waiting for his mother. They were flying in his mother so she can attend, and there is no mention of the exact date when he was put into the ground. So now I'm gonna show you a cemetery and talk about Dyatlov Pass that I just came from. So Dmitry Kirev said that he goes every year before the conference to the pass on a snowmobile. Snowmobile is something I did only in 2019 with Michael Becky, and he was just a smooth operator, smooth ride. I loved it. So I thought it's gonna be the same, but it was not. I even had big plans to stay for a night on the pass, but here's what happened in reality. There was a group of 10 people led by Fedotov who went with a replica of the Dyatlov tent. You have heard a lot about me advertising that I will spend the night on the Dyatlov Pass in a tent replica with a stove burning. Well, there is a discrepancy right there, because the stove cannot burn unless it's suspended between trees, and there are no trees on the slope where the tent was found. And later on, Fedotov decided to put the replica in the forest in honor of my theory, but which is not just mine. Many people think that Dyatlov Pass Dyatlov group was actually there. There is another who talks, so I'm gonna wait until he passes. You can listen a little bit of what he says. And we were helping with his load, because he had a comfortable tent, very professionally done, very original, and then he had the stove and many other things that he needed for the experiments that they're going to attempt right now as we speak. They are on the pass, and so we dragged a very big cargo for him, and we were very heavy on Lozva. Our own load was dragged by Dmitry Kirev's daughter, Liz, and her husband, their newlywed, her husband Igor. Igor didn't have any experience in riding a snowmobile, but he was helping because it was a long ride. And so in addition to being slow, the young couple lost their sled once, so Dmitry went back with them to look for it, and then they tipped over several times. Liz hit her head, and thank God she was wearing a helmet. But she noticed something while she was on the ground trying to get up the snowmobile. She noticed that under the cover of the new snow there was a blue ice. And today, when I was returning the satellite phone to Oleg Demyanenko, I asked him, he's the guide who helped Discovery Expedition Unknown with his company for when they were filming, and he said, yeah, that's normal. There is a blue ice under the snow in places. At the conference, Karelin was saying that he saw ice in 59. He's a searcher who was in the first shift, in the first group when they found the first group of bodies. He was saying that he saw ice. According to him, this is not normal, so he thinks there were experiments and something that had a heat wave that iced the slope. And he wants people to remember this because he keeps repeating it, but no one can put it in context. He says that the slope where the footprints was iced, and the footprints were ice columns, not just like normally you can just kick it and they fall apart. They were ice. This is what he says, keeps saying. And then we saw ice this year again. Also, I heard stories about migrating indigenous tribes when there was an earthquake on the Dyatlov Pass, and they were very scared. All the women were crying, the children were scared, and they huddled into a big pile, all the people, and there was a green cloud of smoke that came out of the ground on the Dyatlov Pass, and the shaman said not to breathe, just hold your breath, stay in a close group, cover the children, and then the smoke just went away, and he said it is all good now. And so the mountain is alive and is reacting. Well, I don't want to get into mysticism and get people's hope that they may witness or be subjected to something weird if they happen to go there. But to me, every visit to the Dyatlov Pass is really close to something sacred inside my heart, inside my core, and the journey is making me look inside myself, almost like rearrange myself. I don't really understand if it's the priorities, the way of living, what is it, but it's making room. Right now I can describe it like it's, instead of crushing you, making you suffocate, like narrowing your breathing space, it's expanding it. So what you have inside, like memories and experience, takes much less space, and it's opening new void for new life that's gonna fill in. It's very strange. I keep wanting to come back in just freeing some space inside me. It's not throwing out stuff, it's making space for new. And this time the cemetery seems so small. We're already at its other end. This is going to be the main entrance that I'm gonna show you. I hope I'm not at the end of the battery, but I have a spare one. This is the beautiful church where I'm going to purchase a crest, like everybody tells me. At the top of the pass, all of the cameras froze, so I couldn't make videos or pictures at the very top. All I have is other people's, so all the phones and all the cameras made a couple of pictures, including me on our ascent to the pass, and then it showed that my battery is 0. And when I went back to the room in Vizhai to charge my camera, it showed 100%. So the battery was full, but it didn't want to make pictures on the very top. The same with the rest of the cameras that other people brought, including Sony, GoPro, iPhone. They all froze. Only the daughter of Dmitry Kirev, Liz, she's young and full of weird, interesting ideas, so she brought a Polaroid and she made the pictures, souvenirs of the people that went with us. We had 3 firefighters in our group. It wasn't just the 4 of us, we had firefighters too, and she made the pictures and all of them came out as if it was midnight. It was very dark. and you can hardly see if there are any people on the pictures, especially on the one that she gave me as a souvenir. She said, Teddy, this is for you. And I looked at it and I said, what is this? And then when the dark shapes came to me at that day back in Vizhai, I looked again at the Polaroid and thought, whoever is on that picture must really seek some spiritual help, because this is one doomed picture. It's very dark and scary. And I asked her, who is in the picture? She said, it's you, Teddy. So here I am. I'm going to try to rectify this. And I don't believe it's a warning or someone is trying to do me harm. It's my sensitivity that allows some of the unsettled souls to communicate or show themselves. And I don't think it's good for neither of me or them. They should just find their way. Shouldn't be tied to that Vizhai rock there. I mean, it's not just my name, not my opinion. Everybody that knows something about it says that. Those are tortured souls. So I'm going to cut off the camera, or maybe I'll try to get in. I think I'll have to cover my head. Not sure how it's gonna go. If I don't feel it appropriate, I'm gonna shut it down. So we'll see how it goes. Здравствуйте. Не надо делать свяжки. Вот такие. Давайте вот такие 9. 9. 9. Да. И у вас есть крестики? Крест.
В магазин надо идти. Вот продавец из магазина. Тут при входе в магазин.
Да.
Там всякие крестики есть. Мама. Крестик? Да.
Да. Они, могу ли я осветить этот крест?
Они освещены.
Освещен. Хорошо, очень хорошо.
Пока свечи поставите, я батюшке жду.
Спасибо.
Когда батюшке свечу дать. Представляю, что там девушку сейчас игрушки. А вы видели магазин-то? Церковная лавка?
Найду.
Рядом?
Да, найду. Если поищу, найду.
Ну, тебе надо самой все показать. Наташа, вот ты
Ну тогда ставьте, заходите за мной вместе пойдем.
Хорошо.
Лена, зачем ты игрушку покупать рисуем?
Да как кто? Еще-то продаст, только у меня ключи нет.
У меня нет карточки. Можно с наличными? У меня нет карты. Я иностранец. Они не работают без карты, которые у меня.
20 рублей будет, я вам...
Да, есть много.
Давайте.
Мелочь, да. 20. Без- Спасибо. Так что
Младенец в тяжелом состоянии, или она не крещенная, у нее пневмония. Она задыхается.
Сейчас батюшка все объясню. Сейчас придет за этим. А сейчас я шла, ощущение, что знаю.
извините, можно вам спросить что-то? За мертвые там ли?
Нет, вот.
Ой, я не знаю. Где? О, спасибо. Спасибо. Да. Спасибо. I'm now going to lit 9 candles for the Dyatlov group, although they didn't believe in church and stuff like that. But their souls still need some resolution, because this is what I felt. I hope you find peace. I hope you find your way. You didn't find it on the slope of the mountain. I hope you find it in the afterlife. Let your souls rest in peace. Beautiful people, gentle souls, forgive us for troubling you. We only want to know the truth. I hope we're not holding you on this earth. We don't mean to. We want you to be free. We're only looking for justice. God help us. God bless us all. God bless all the people on the earth. Help us live together. Help us see the light. Help us learn to love. Hold our hand. Make our feet strong. Lead the way. Don't let us fall into our small, ambitious roles that we create. But free us, use us for your big plan. We don't know it. Why are we so attracted to this mystery? Why can't we just forget? Why do we keep going back? Help us understand. Отче наш, който си на небесата, да се свети името Ти, да дойде царството Ти, да бъде волята Ти, както и на небето, така и на земята. Дай ни днес ежедневния хляб и прости ни дълговете, както и ние простихме на нашите длъжници. И не ни въвеждай в изкушение, но пази ни от лукавия, защото царството е Твое и силата и славата до вековете. Амин. Я пойду сейчас вам? Да? С вами?
Все, пойдем сейчас. Все, ангел. Пойдемте, моя дорогая. Как вас зовут-то?
Теодора.
А вы откуда?
Болгария.
Из Болгарии?
Да. Это греческое имя, значит подарок с Бога.
Да?
Да.
Вот я это говорю. Девочку Господь как любит. Видно, что она страшная. Привел, видишь, сразу.
Спасибо вам.
Он непростой. Он же очень старинный.
Знаю. У меня были какие-то странное ощущение на перевале Дятлова. Я оттуда от Бежай приехала. И что-то увидела меня. Там хозяин
Ну там
турбазы
какие-то, там есть.
сказала, у тебя есть крест? Я сказала, нет. Он сказал, ну иди, потому что двумя Золотарев и Крivonischenko похоронены здесь.
Там силы такие какие-то не наши.
А и
Темные
поэтому к
силы
вам.
управляют сильно там без креста делать нечего. Они же все пропали.
Да,
Непонятно, что и как.
точно. Ну и я хочу, чтобы Бог помог или сказал, что не надо искать, или надо искать. Я уже 12 лет этим занимаюсь и не могу оставиться. Все время, я иду в России 2 раза на год, зимой и лето, ищу истину. Книгу написала, мой соавтор умер. Столько много людей и сейчас умирают. Ну, может быть, связано, не думаю, что связано с этим. Ну, думаю, что когда кто-то ближе к смерти, потому что болеет или страдает, его сердце станет мягче и хочется помочь и разбираться в этот случай.
Давай пропустим мужчину.
Да, ну,
что-то он
конечно.
думает, что делать дальше.
Он же сильнее, чем нам. Надо пропускать.
Ну, едет
Пропускать.
он уже, я
Ищет место, может быть. Какие темные стекла. Это бывает в Америке, где солнце. Здесь почему темные стекла делают?
Здравствуйте. Здесь особая борьба. Здесь православие. Здесь борьба усиливается. Им надо уничтожить православие.
Да.
Поэтому борьба не на жизнь, а на смерть. Дома есть, да.
Угу.
У меня тоже сестра. Она давно живет в Италии, в Англии, с семьей, в Канаде. Ну, у них много всяких домов там. Так и не дождалась. Вот смотри, вот там все крестики выбирай. Сейчас я подойду, ключ возьму.
Спасибо очень. И они все освященные.
Все освященные.
Спасибо очень. Значит,
Если я
надо-
сейчас кофе сварю, то будешь?
Да, буду. Спасибо. Очень, очень мило. договариваемся. Ну, и вот,
Вот за
скажите...
это, чтобы съела.
Да. Ну, скажите сейчас.
Вот это я всем раздаю, кто, конечно, нуждается в помощи в такой Божьей.
Это молитва Архангела
Вот это
Михаила.
описание этой молитвы. Это старинная икона Архангела Михаила.
И это на мой крест. Тоже.
Да. А вот это
Архангел
сама
Михаил.
молитва.
Да.
Она совершенно необыкновенная. Вот сколько ребят на войну уходят, и я раздаю этим и объясняю, как молиться, потому что здесь первая часть, мы обращаемся к Богу, чтобы Он послал нам Архангела Михаила. А вторая часть, мы уже молимся самому Архангелу Михаилу. И здесь вот в скобках имя надо говорить. Допустим, услыши
Идет
меня
молитва.
грешного раба своего имя, и всех, кто вокруг меня, надо говорить, потому что Господь всех знает, кто вокруг этого человека.
Да, и Господь говорил, если соберетесь 2 или больше человека и молитесь меня, я услышу.
Да.
Да? Так.
Он и так нас слышит, и поодиночке
Да, и
всяко
поодиночке,
слышит,
да.
он везде слышал, везде. Ну и это, ну а ребята молятся. Вот я одной женщине забыла вот это сказать, что все вокруг него. И вот у нее сыночек остался жив, а ребята погибли. Прямое было попадание. Обязательно надо говорить, чтобы вокруг нас были тоже окруженные молитвой люди. По ней выигрываются все суды. Вот сколько женщины судились по 6, по 3 года. В общем, не могли выиграть суды, а по этой молитве все выигрывали. По ней сдаются экзамены. В общем, я на себе тоже ее испытала. У меня судились родные племянники, прости Господи нас. Я на 2-м заседании должна была выступать. А бесы меня так скрутили, чтоб я не шла, конечно, я знаю, это их не проделки. Я слегла с высокой температурой в раз, и у меня в раз пропал голос. Какое заседание? Я взяла в руки эту молитву, и сквозь вот это вот состояние читаю. Минут через 20 звонит адвокат. Елена Дмитриевна, я такого не видела, не слышала. Раз-два мы выиграли все. Это я только про себя, а сколько люди рассказывают всего, это же вообще что-то невероятное. Причем я говорю, давайте я вам заменю, другую дам. Но это уже все, они все уже такие обрямканные эти.
Ну, почему?
Нет, у нас намоленное и не отдают. Молятся по старым.
Мой брат называется Михаил.
А брат Михаил,
Да.
вот за него можно молиться, чтобы Архангел Михаил своими крылами всех их закрыл. За кого вы молитесь?
Да. А можно это заплачивает Лиса?
Нет, это
можно
бесплатно.
Дайте мне еще одно унести брата.
А вот это просто это. Он же не будет молиться, брат. Вы за него молитесь.
Хорошо.
Но я все равно дам для него.
Спасибо.
А вдруг у него будет тяжелая ситуация какая-то, он захочет помолиться, пусть он ему возьмет в руки и помолится.
Он верит.
А, он верующий?
Да, верующий.
Ну так тогда, конечно. А он знает русский-то?
Не знаю, честно говоря, научит. Так,
Русский,
это
мне
мое.
кажется, сложно выучить.
Нет, не выучить снова. Просто мы из та генерации, которая учили в школе. Это мой русский, только в школе. Я специально не учила.
А там школьно?
А это Болгарии?
Учили.
Мы
Болгарии.
давно тогда учили. Сейчас надо выбирать как предмет. Тогда мы все учили. Ну, мы были очень близкие народы. Мы сейчас будем.
Но они
Я
специально
думаю, что
нас
все.
разъединяют все.
Я это знаю.
Все
Я уверена.
специально делается. Сейчас я файлик чистый найду.
Спасибо.
И так трогательно, знаете. Ну, пожалуйста, помолитесь. Вы так страдаете, ну, помолитесь. Вот завтра суд, помолитесь. Берут. На следующий день бегу, глаза такие, коробка конфет. Так, столько лет мучиться и это. Ой, какие чудеса. А ребята рассказывали, значит, вот они едут. Только отъехали, бабах. За ними что-то случается, вот прям по пятам. Вот так вот и сохраняет. А экзамен, смешно даже экзамен, да вообще, когда начинают рассказывать, да прямо где выдаешься. Поехала одна в Питер с девочкой сдавать экзамены, а туда же сложно поступить, в Петербурге-то. И вот она говорит, а я ей говорю, вы главное не волнуйтесь, берите эту молитву, и вот она зашла, и вы молитесь, молитесь. Она так и сделала. Хотя волновалась бабушка. И вот она молится, молится. Девочка выходит, а за ней по пятам выбегает с приемной комиссии. И говорят, пожалуйста, оставьте эту девочку у нас. Представляешь?
Понравилось.
Да. Вот это сила этой молитвы.
Значит, крепкая, сильная молитва.
У нас, да. Еще если и брат Михаил, это его небесный покровитель. Он молится за него Богу.
А ваше имя как?
А на Ганину яму-то вы ездили?
Мне сказали, я все прочла про Ганину яму, но просто не было времени. Мой друг Владимир Аскинази, он живет в Севастополе, и я шла и встретила с него после как было не очень легко по Крымский мост ездить на поезд. Я встретилась его, и он сказал, ну, заходи на Ганину яму, и я прочла все про это место. Очень хотелось, но до сих пор время не нашла.
Нету, да?
Ну, я
можно
пойду
ограничиться
завтра.
храмом на крови.
А, храм на крови было, да. Угу.
Это вот царские мученики там, да. Ну вот, моя дорогая.
Очень приятно было. Спасибо
Так, съела?
за слова. Ну,
Хоть
я...
один кусочек.
Хорошо.
Как это так мало есть-то?
Ну, не мало ем. Я завтракала, буду ужинать. Я не мало ем.
В России надо побольше есть. Все-таки климатические условия другие.
Хорошо, поем, потому что это
Вам не так.
не надо отказываться. Я знаю, сколько это.
Натуральное. Это с Ганиной ями, кстати, там делают. Вот. И молоко из Ганиной ямы.
Надо было сказать.
Сразу.
Сразу бы съела все.
Потому что сейчас натуральных продуктов вообще-то маловато. А на Ганиной яме они все натуральные.
Угу.
Там у них свое хозяйство. Молочко они делают, сыр делают.
Очень хорошее. Ну, спасибо. Чтобы вы были здоровые, сильные, помогать другими людьми.
О, нет, мне уже много лет, я уже хочу на покой, но я, видимо, не всех отмолила, меня Господь никак не отпускает.
Пусть не отпускают. Еще много-много лет.
Ну да. Салфеток нет, может, не
У меня
надеяться.
есть.
Салфетки что-то, да, в этом месяце нам не выдали.